Hello everyone and welcome back. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about the use of alcohol and how drinking alcohol to cope with stress slowly rewires the brain. And I will put a link to this article in the description for the video. People often use alcohol as a quick way to relax when stress builds up, and at first it may seem like it helps. Researchers at the University of Massachusetts Amherst found that this habit does more than offer temporary relief, as it slowly changes how the brain handles stress and decision making over time. And I'm going to tell you, as a 32-year legal practitioner, I can tell you the legal profession, from what I've seen and read, is if you're a lawyer, twice as likely to develop a substance use disorder as a non-lawyer. And I can tell you, I've got friends and they like to drink, and it's a stress relief. I think it's a problem. Alcohol does not reduce stress in the moment, as it also weakens the brain's natural ability to cope with pressure. As a result, the brain starts depending on alcohol instead of building stronger coping skills. With repeated use, stress feels harder to manage without drinking, and that pushes the person back toward alcohol again. And typically what happens is if an individual's been drinking, what happens? They start to drink more, right? At the same time, alcohol affects judgment and decision-making, which could lead to more stressful situations. One of those decisions can be drinking and driving. And, when I was prosecutor back in the 90s, I was not only responsible for prosecuting DUIs. When I was the chief of a county court division, I was responsible for actually making the filing decision. So law enforcement would make the arrest, they'd submit a filing packet to the state attorney's office, and one of the division chiefs, depending on the week, like me, would review all of the facts of the case, and we decide, were we going to file the case? Were we going to file something lesser than a DUI, or were we going to not file the case at all? So so when I was prosecutor, we were prosecuting a lot of these DUIs. I've got a colleague of mine who just left the office in the last year, so he stayed on. I was there till 1999. He stayed on until 2025, and what he shared with me, at least here in South Florida, was a little concerning. With all the education that we've done, with Uber, with taxis, there are more people driving, under the influence here in certainly here in South Florida than ever before. Probably not just alcohol. I'm sure it's, marijuana too. But I think what's happening is that people just don't, if they're already drinking significant amounts, it's just affecting their ability to frankly make a rational decision. Don't drink and drive, right? I mean, forget the arrest. You might end up killing somebody or yourself. So, we see this sort of real time. Alcohol and stress cause lasting harm. Mice exposed to the combination of alcohol use and stress showed a higher tendency to return to alcohol later in life, even after long periods without drinking, which suggests that the brain keeps a sort of a memory of this behavior. As middle age approaches, these early changes begin to show in subtle but serious ways. Learning ability may remain mostly intact, but flexibility starts to decline, which means the ability to adjust to new situations or think quickly becomes weaker over time. Recovery becomes difficult. The research also found signs of oxidative stress in the brain, which is a type of damage that harms cells and often appears in Alzheimer's disease. Okay, I'll let you read the article for yourself. I think I've made the point. But if you're a family out there who's got somebody who's just using and abusing alcohol, and you want to talk about what options may or may not be available to you, we'd like to have a conversation with you. I'd like to hear, if you're a family and you've got somebody in the family who's drinking just consistently, what is that like? What is that experience like? The other thing is, if you are a member of the Florida bar, if you are a lawyer, give me a call. I want to talk about what options are available to you. I can tell you I've represented a bunch of lawyers. I put a couple of lawyers into treatment. This is a problem. It's a problem not just with families that we talk to, but it's a problem in the legal profession. And there are options available for lawyers. I'm happy to share those with you. But what do you think about this? Let me know your thoughts. If there's an issue going on in your family, let me know. Post in the comments. I'll make a video for you. Maybe I haven't already made a video about this issue, and I want to make sure that you get the information you need. And also, if it's affecting your family, it's probably affecting somebody else's too. So let's spread the love a little bit. I'll make you that video. If you like this content, please give me a thumbs up. If you want more of this content, which I make for you every day, please subscribe to the channel. And with that said, thank you for tuning in. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.